Welcome to Yeshiva Daf. Shir sponsor Lelui Nishmas. I'm Yaakov Shalom Le'apas Yitzchok. We're holding in Sanhedrin Daf Zayin. Got to Daf Zayin. The Gemara says the following: Upligo. We're starting with the word upligo, which is 7 lines at the top of the Amud. Upligo. Who's pligo? The pligo the Tamchun bar Chaniloi. What's money mean? What we learned in the previous daf argues with Rav Tamchun bar Chaniloi. What way it argues? Because Rav Tamchun bar Chaniloi said, we're going to see in a moment, that should something else from the pasuk. The way the Rashi explains, before we learned that the pasuk Boitzeya Berach refers to a judge who wants to compromise. Now he's going to learn a different drasha. The Taisis learns that we're talking about what it says Teres Emes. One of the drushes we said in the previous pasuk, previous daf, we want to change it a little bit. What is it? Says the Gemara, the Omar Chaniloi said, the pasuk was written regarding the story of the Egel. An Egel Azov, what was Egel Azov? The golden calf. Aaron and Kohen build the golden calf. What does it mean? What did he see that he justified building a golden calf? He saw Chur. What happened? We know the story. The story is that the Jewish people wanted to do Egel, and this Chur said, no, don't do it. So what did they do? They killed him. And now they're about to kill Aaron and Kohen as well. If I'm not going to listen to them, they're going to kill me like they killed Chur. Chur was a Navi, and he was a Kohen. And the pasuk says in Eichel that when you have the killing of both a Navi, a prophet, and a Kohen, that when the Jewish people kill the Kohen and the Navi, that's a very bad omen, Gzeirah to Am Yisrael. So they're going to kill me, will be both. So they'll never have redemption. Listen to this unbelievable concept. Maybe they should do the Egel Azov. Why? Because at least that's the golden calf is idol worshipping. Idol worshipping, he can do tshuva, he can always return. But to kill a Kohen and a Navi, he's not sure he can go back after the pasuk says that.
Amazing Madrig, because
he did it for that. According to the Gemara, that was his cheshbon to do the Aveira. He did the Aveira according to cheshbon. Right? Now, so how does this go to the pasuk we said yesterday? So according to Rashi, Pshat is, Boitzeya Berach means that Aaron and Kohen did a pshar, did a compromise. Boitzeya, we learned yesterday's daf, means to compromise. Aaron and Kohen compromised to do an Aveira. Right? Taisis learns, talks about Teres Emes also Piu, that he did a Verabim Heishim Ovin. Referring to the pasuk says over there that he made a lot of people do tshuva. How do you do that? By doing the Maaseh. What are they going to do with the pasuk that says that we learned in the yesterday's daf? We mentioned the idea. The point of Mayim Rishis Modern means that once you start the judgment, don't compromise, right? Once you did it, you can't do it anymore. That's your dash in the pasuk yesterday. So, in other words, before the nidah, you can do it. According to Mandami, you still could do compromise even later. What are they going to do with this pasuk? My dash when a person goes to Shamayim, what does he judge for first? Divrei Torah. Did he learn Torah? Is he learning Torah, now learning Torah? That will be the first judgment. Shema Poiter Mayim, the one that opens the someone who gives up and doesn't learn Torah, Reshit Madon is the first thing he's being judged for. And the Gemara concludes, we want to get back to this in a moment. Like a side point, we're saying, obviously, it's what we're learning now, but Tigru Damaya means the beginning of a fight, of a machlekes, let's sinora the bitka de mayo. When you have a little hole, there's water dripping into the garden. You have a little hole, so you can seal it. But once it becomes a huge hole and the water is flowing in, you can't stop it. So when you start right, when someone who starts a fight, once the fight starts, you can't stop it, right? Whoever brings another example, like Shisho Omar, the Rashi says this is not Josh in the pasuk. Dami legudo the gamluk and the kam. The way it works is they used to make these wood to create the bridge. In the beginning when they did it, it was not so settled. Once you walk it for a little bit, it settles down and it attaches well. So once you do it, it attaches well. And this is the message that once you start doing a fight and it becomes settled, you can't stop it. Now, here we have a very important thesis. Toys asks, we all know the Gemara in Shabbos that says that when a person dies, there's 6 questions are being asked when it comes to Shamayim. What is the first question being asked? Nasata v'nasata b'emunah. Did you do business honestly? That's question number 1. Question number 2 is kavate itim l'toyu. Did you learn Torah? So Toys asks, here the Gemara says that the first thing you're being judged on is Torah. And there it says the second thing. What Toys asks, that's the question Toys. This brings 2 answers. Either we're talking about someone who learned a little bit, but not enough. So then it's the second question. Here we're talking about someone who did not learn at all. And according to the second answer, Toys says, the question they asked first about, did he do business rightfully? But what does he get punished for Torah? That's what it says. If they said more about this, we'll be ma'arich in this Beis Hashem a little bit more in the Shur Machshava on the Daf regarding this Indian and other answers. What does it mean that it starts? Says the Gemara, Haudok daka'omar v'ozil tuvyo deshoma v'adish chafur bishtimia. What's going around, it says, good for the person who hears people speaking not nicely about him, but he's silent. Doesn't say a word. The Odish means he's not answering. 100 bad things will happen to him, will pass on him, and will not hit him. There's a pasuk that says this idea. Which means person who starts who starts with a fight, Rishit Madoin, we begin in the Madoin. You learn Madoin is a nutricor mea doni, 100 barrels. He gets hit 100 times. So if you avoid a fight, you avoid 100 hits. Says the Gemara, Reish Me'adini. Houdav the comment, they're going to bring out a few things that people used to say, and then we found the pasuk says the same thing, because the pasuk teaches you everything you need to know. Houdav the comment v'azil atarte tlat ganvo le'mikto. He said 2-3 times a thief is not caught. You see a thief going and being successful. For the first 2-3 times he won't be caught. He's going to be caught the 4th time. In other words, eventually he'll be caught. It says in the Gemara, it's a pasuk. I'm gonna stop myself for punishing the Jewish people the first 3 times. In the 4th time, already not keeping it back. Somebody who said, "Shev biri l'shalmano, v'chad le'ovit bish." Meaning what? He says 7 pits are done for someone who is doing peace. In other words, he will fall 7 times in the pit, he will still be saved. And one who does bad, right away is over. Tzaddik falls 7 times, still gets up. For Rashi, as the Rasha falls in the first one. Here we have the famous Lord of Hudner. Hudner's Yotze was in Shabbos. Famous letter that he wrote says the Tipshim, the fools say, says in the pasuk Sheva Yipol Tzaddik V'Kam, that a tzaddik, even though he falls 7 times, he still gets up. It says that's how the fools say it. The people that are wise, they understand that a tzaddik, because he falls, he gets up. You fall down, you get back up. The someone person was going on and saying, someone went to Bezdin and they took away his coat. Why they took away his coat? Because he was chayav. He was chayav. So when he goes out, he should be very happy, singing. He should be all full of joy. Why? Because it's a good thing. He whatever he owed, he paid. It says the pasuk, all of them will come to peace. What do you call come to peace? The ones that win the judgment, they will come to peace. The ones that lose the judgment won't. It says no, the ones that lose the judgment will also come to peace because they will pay with their own. This person is going around saying, he naimo vedikulo shofir, meaning she is falling asleep, and the hat of this woman, who has on the hat, she has her sewing and weaving material is falling as well. So what's the said? That someone who's falling asleep, he loses work. Says the pasuk about a person is lazy, the roof falls down. This person that was relying on, you know what happened to it? He picked up his hand and he punched me in the face. Meaning, I was relying on him and he went against me. The person I was relying on, that's the pasuk, he became my biggest enemy. There was another person saying the following sentence. When our love was strong, meaning in the beginning of our marriage, my wife and I had we were very close. We were able to sleep together on the width of the bench. A very narrow area. We had enough room. Now that our love is not so strong, a 60 amma bed is not good enough. It's too tight. When you live with someone you don't love, it's always too tight. Says the Gemara, it's a pasuk. The Kroiksi originally says in the pasuk, originally in the Mishkan, Akash Baruch Hu told Moshe Rabbeinu, come, I will be with you, I will meet you above the Kapayris. What's above the Kapayris? Tanya Oren Tisha Kapayris Tefach Arikan Asara. The size of the Oren is 10 tefachim, and above that Akash Baruch Hu is there. So and right, so there was the small space because right, and in that area there was the Shechina. The next stage was the Beis Hamikdash. How big is the Beis Hamikdash? La Hashem Shish Amor or Korvesirach Bovishloishim Amakamosai. Now the height is much bigger. Later it says, Karma Hashem Hashemayim Kisiva, it's Odom Laglai. The Shemaim is my place, you're down here in the world. Eza Bais Asher Tivnuli. You can't build me a house, it's too tight. So, what is the Gemara saying? If Yochanan Baruch said, when the love, so to speak, of Baruch Am Yisrael is not seen so much public, it gets tighter and tighter to be in the same house. Don't collect your words, not to say, like to not say your opinion. So it means don't store your words. How do you know Lissagur means Lashon store? Don't drink, you're not going to drink wine, and you won't store wine. She's preparing her bread in the summer. She's preparing in the harvest time her food. She's putting it aside. Someone who stores in the summer, he's a wise person. So that all tells me this idea that what? Then we see the Lashon Agiro is also in today's modern Hebrew. When you say Oiger, it's the modern Hebrew means storing. That's exactly what the word means. Yeah. Okay, Zog to Gemara now in 2 dots. Or brings a simon, or skip the simon, or mammoth 1 year of simon. Omar Shmuel Bar Nachman, Omar Yonason. Kol Dayan Shadon Din Emes La Mitoy Mash Shechina Beisol. Someone who does a judgment, the correct judgment, he brings the shores of Shechina. Shneimar Elokim Yitzavah Daskel the Kerbalei Kimishport. Baruch comes down to the world with the Dayanim. Kol Dayan Sheinu Dan Din Emes La Mitoy. Per Dayan does not do the Emes La Mitoy. According to the Shechina Shishtag Miso, it makes his Shechina go away from his soul. Shneimar when there is they misjudge the poor, Hashem says, I'm going to get up and leave. And this goes back to what we spoke about earlier, the whole idea of Sanhedrin based in his HaKadosh Baruch Hu is together with the Dayanim. He's there. Person, a Dayan judge, he says, I'll take money from you, Reuven, and give it to Shimon. Kadosh Baruch Hu will take away his soul. Don't take away from the poor because he's poor. Don't depress a poor man in the gate. Will fight their fight. The covers kovem nefesh will take away their nefesh, their soul. Person a dayan should see as if there is a sword standing between his thighs. And the Gehenna is underneath him. There's a simile. What Shlomo means, the Kadosh Baruch Hu. The Shishu Giborim means the Tamei Chachamim. They're all holding a sword, knowing the war. They all have the sword on their thigh, afraid of the nights. What's afraid of the nights? So that's the fear. The fear is that they are going to be going to Gehenna. That's the Dayan has to be very, very careful. Right? You should do a din in the morning and save the ones who's being stolen. You judge only in the morning, not any other time of the day. If it's clear to you, like in the morning, then you say. It has to be clear. You have to know what you're saying. Don't try to estimate. Say the right thing. Say the thing that's clear. Another pasuk. That's the pasuk we said before. If it's clear to you, like your sister, is there any question that a sister is also to marry? Not even that question. There's no shyness. So if it's clear like a sister, then I'm ready. If you're not clear, don't say. We have 10 judges. They're all responsible. And if they're doing mistakes purposely, they all will be punished. Obviously, all judges. Talk about someone who is a Talmud in front of his Rebbe, and also he should interfere and say you're doing something wrong. When he had a judgment come in front of him, he brings 10 people with him to be the judges, to be the Dayanim. In other words, we should share. Shiva Mikshur means the piece of the when you cut the wood, small pieces of the wood. In other words, we'll spread the wealth. We'll all be punished together. If we did a mistake, we'll all be punished together. Came in front of him a trayful, a food, a trayful. So he brought all the butchers of that city. The same idea that the small piece of wood will go to everybody. Everybody will carry the load of the mistake if they do a mistake. Interesting name. Nachman, the son of Kohen. So what does this pasuk mean? What does the Darshan follow? If a dayan is like a king who doesn't need any favors, don't need any favors from anybody, then you will be able to make the land stand. But if he's like a kohen who needs to get donations, he needs to be able to pay him, Sanhedrin is going to ruin the world. The Bnei Yisrael, they made a dayan, they put in a dayan who did not know. Wasn't the luck. Only Yudim ben Nachmani Meturgamei. So they told Yehuda bar Nachmani, the Meturgaman, the Rish Lakish. She was the Meturgaman Rish Lakish. What's the Meturgaman? Meturgaman is the one who screams out loud the drasha. Sometimes he translated as well, but the main idea is that he screams out the drasha. So he told him, go be, you're going to be the one who has the loud voice and scream out what he says. So he goes down, he says, so, no, what does the guy want to say? The guy didn't know how to learn. He didn't know what he had nothing to say. So said the Yehuda, the Meturgamon, Yehuda bar Nachmani, Hay oimer le'etz akitza uri le'even domam hu yoyre. Look, it's someone who says to the wood, start talking. So he tells the stone to start speaking. Who tofu zav v'kesev kol ruach and he has money, gold, he has gold and silver, but he doesn't have any ruach, any soul. In other words, he says this person, because he paid a lot of money, he became a dayim, he doesn't know what he's talking about. Kishbo was going to punish the ones who appointed this dayim. That's the end of that pasuk. Kishbo will be in the Eichel, and the whole world will be silent. Someone who appoints a dayan who's a bad dayan is if he planted a tree for the Zohar. The pasuk says to appoint a dayan. Says do not plant a tree over the Zohar. So a person who appoints the wrong dayan is if he planted over the Zohar. If there is someone at the Mechachim, he could be appointed. It's not only that he planted in Hashem, he planted in Beis Hamikdash, or next to Mizbech. Shema itself Mizbech Hashem Elokecha. That's the Shechal Pasuk. It says, don't build an idol of gold and of silver. You can't mix gold with silver. Can I make an idol made out of wood? Talk about the ones who pay to get their job. That's about. Rav went to Beis Din. He said the following. We saw this in Mesechus Yuma, if you remember. Because I'm interested in dying. That's why I came out. In other words, it's dangerous. Dangerous to do a din. Maybe I'll do something wrong. I did not give my last will and testimony to my family. I don't have anything that I gained from it. I'm coming empty-handed. Not getting any money. That I will come back like the way I came out without a punishment. I won't make a mistake. When he saw many people running after him to give him COVID, it was a pasuk. It says, person goes up to Shamayim, he's going to fall down. In other words, to tell himself, don't be a bad guy, don't be a show, don't feel too good about yourself. When they would carry him, kitva means to put him on his shoulder, take him in the Shabbos Ariglo when there was a big drush. He said the pasuk not to feel too good about himself. Not forever you'll have strength. But if you have Nezer, you have the right malchus, that stays forever. How do Rabbanan know? Be calm in the din, don't judge. In other words, be me'ayin, check it very well before you come to a conclusion. Don't go up the stairs. In other words, the pasuk is referring to do not make stairs in Mizbech. But you darshan, don't go in miles, don't go too fast. The mishpatim should not be too fast. I know that dayan should not walk where people are standing on the floor. People used to sit on the floor and they would walk in. If you come purposely late to walk where everybody's sitting, don't do that. Why not? The same drush. Don't feel too good about yourself. Everybody's sitting and they have to make room for you to pass by. Mishpatim, what says Mishpatim you should put? The Mishpatim that you should teach. Says the Gemara, Omar, Rabbi Yirmiyah, Vitim, Rabbi Chibabo, Elu Klei Dayonim. Referring to here, the Mishpatim she does with them is you have to give the vessels. The Dayonim have special vessels they use. Bring me my vessels, bring me my instrument of my store. Meaning, the Dayanim have. What did the Dayanim have? I think I was going to say that in a second. What is it? Makel, a stick. Viritzua is what you hit the people with. Veshufra, a shofar, where they have to sometimes do a nidui. Vesandala, and the sandal to do yibum. Says the Gemara a few more lines over here. But Save is Shaiftechem Beisei. I order the Shaiftim. Right? It's Save, I gave them orders to know, to have all this kelim and know when to use it. That's why the pasuk. You should listen to both Sodim and then you do a Shpishpat. Never listen to two people come to Beis Din. Don't listen to one before the other. Why? Rashi says, and then the Gra brings it as well, psychological. Once you hear someone, it's very hard to hear the other one. You have to hear them together. Now, it's not only azar to the Beis Din not to listen, but also the person who comes to Beis Din, if the Dayan doesn't know what he's doing, don't do it. Wait for your friend to come. Project, say out loud together. Because not only listen, but also speak. Don't accept a bad judgment, and don't say a bad testimony. So referring to over here also a bad claim and based. In other words, first explain why you're saying it, and then come and judge it. Explain to yourself the reasoning why you come into the judgment. A person, two people are coming and they have a fight. One, they say, we want the house, we want to divide the house. Don't say, you know what, let's just split it. You take the second floor, you take the first floor. No, you divide the whole thing into half. Between the oven and kirayim, which is the stove. Don't come and say, just you take the oven, you take the stove. No, you have to split it between them. The dayan should not be lazy and do the din the way it's supposed to be. Says the Gemara, what is that? So two things can be. Don't show favorism. Right? In other words, don't give him a little, you're my guy, you're my friend. And or the opposite. Don't give him a bad treatment if you don't like it. You have to treat everybody the same. The Rav, the host of Rav, also committed a carry in the basin. Aren't you my host? He says, yes. Oh, so what are you doing here? He says, I want to do a judgment by you. He told him, I can't do it because I owe you a favor. You're my host. So Rav told Rav Kahana, you be the judge. He saw that the Rav Kahana sees this guy is feeling very good about himself. He's like, Rav is my friend, he's my guest, he'll take care of me. If you listen to him, I'm going to tell you good. You have to Rav himself will take away the money for you. Don't think Rav is going to help you. One last sentence over here. Which is the end of the pasuk. It says over there, don't think that if you have a small amount of money or big, you have to judge everything the same. What do you mean? Of course, a person goes to you, he has a small claim, you're not going to treat it? Hello, lakdumi. Means lakdumi, the what? Don't come and say, 1 second, that's $1 million judgment. The guy came, what's to do a $20 judgment? So he comes the guy for $1 million. You know, we say, wait aside, we'll do the other one first. No. Even though one is a very large amount of money, one is a very small amount of money, you treat everybody the same. So all this drushes over here that we just learned is that the dayan should take his job very seriously. Have a wonderful night.